Hey there, fellow crazy crafters. Thanks to everyone who tuned in last Sunday for the live stream with Gerard Boom from Shifting Lens. I've synced up some video and audio to give you guys a better idea of the crafting tutorials that Gerard was walking us all through. I'm going to put some timestamps below to when the split screen syncs up better with Gerard, what Gerard is saying, as well as what he's doing, and timestamp the bridge build as well. Thank you so much for tuning in last week. We're looking forward to seeing you this Sunday. Enjoy.
You see that the archways that are drawn on the sheet, they go all the way down. If you look at an archway, it stops somewhere where the curve stops. But I decided I want this one to go all the way down. Now, it would be cool if this archway would actually stick out from the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay. I have more than one option to do it, but let's do it the most easy way. So I have to lay it down, and I start with let's start with the door. So I use a softer pencil. The reason is it will leave more shade on the foam, so you can see it better.
Yeah? When you say softer pencil, Gerard, you just mean not as sharp a point, right?
No, I mean you have HB, you have hardness of the pencil itself.
I see.
Yes.
So you're talking about I see what you're saying now about the softness. I got you.
Okay. So as you can see, a few things about my pencil. First of all, we here in Europe, we have pencils that are as long as this because we have IKEA. Okay, yeah. Cool. Now, no, I mean, this is of course a very short pencil, but that I'm very proud of my collection of pencils because they're all short. And the reason for this is, look at my hand. I'm not sure which video, what do the people see?
I mean, they'd be able to see either. Right now, okay. The holding it up, and I think near your laptop is a cleaner view of how you're holding it.
Okay, so look at my pencil. As you can see, I can rotate my pencil in my hand in any direction I like. This gives me complete flexibility on how I want to use my pencil. Now imagine this is my pencil.
Harder to maneuver.
Yes, it's harder to move. Mm-hmm. It sounds silly, but now look at I'm now using my pencil, and you see the pencil is totally in my hand, and I'm holding it in a way that I feel confident about it. Yes.
Yep.
So that is why I use very short pencils. Again, what you also might see is that I keep my pencil. Oh, where am I? Okay, I keep it very flat, very flat. So I'm looking now in the camera. Mm-hmm. So not like in a 45-degree angle. No, even flatter. Yeah. And now I'm pressing the foam alongside the outer line of the door, and I'm pressing it. Now you see a lot of black is coming on the foam, but that doesn't matter. But then you can see where I am applying the pressure with my pencil. Now I go to my camera above me. Oh. Now I have a real edge that now I have an archway that really sticks out. If I feel that the archway sticks out. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you're able to see it.
Oh, I can see it. It's the definition and depth is there on the archway. It looks really good.
And it is very, very little, but once you paint it, it looks great. So I will do the same alongside the window as well.
I'm trying that technique about to get the recessed to make the archway pop like you popped right now. I'm trying that. I'm trying the flat of the pencil there to see if I can achieve the same thing. Oh yeah.
Does it work?
It is.
Good.
I see what you're saying though about having the shorter pencil because I'm trying to use the long one right now.
Yes, and your hand is in the way, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, now we have something like this.
Oh yeah. That's starting to really pop out and stick out from the wall.
Yep. Now, what we now can do is let's make real stones out of the both of the archways.
Okay.
Now, if I put it on the table, the most simple way to do it is to do this with my acrylic template. You lay it on top, you just use your pencil, and you're done. Right? This is very quickly. I can now divide, or the arch up in 5, 7, or even 11 stones, depending on which one you use. But assuming that you don't have one, and I will not use the template, and I will eyeball it. So the first thing I do is, if I look at the door, it goes straight up, and there where the arch starts, I make a little horizontal line.
Oh, nice.
Okay. So that's step number 1. And the next thing is, if you look at an archway in real life, if you see an archway, take a look at it, and look at the top of the archway, and look at the top of the archway, and you will notice that exactly the highest point of the arch, there is a stone. It's the how do you call it? The center stone, you could say. This stone, if you stand in the middle of an archway and you look up, you will always look towards a stone. You will never look towards a, how do you call it? What's between two stones? You call it a, help me out. Call it
between the two stones.
If you mason, how do you?
Are you talking about the cement?
For instance, now a lot of Roman arches, they didn't use cement, but so you will never look at a crack between two stones, because that would mean that two stones would come together at the top of an arch, and exactly at the highest point there would be a crack, which would be architecturally a disaster. So the top stone will always be in the center of the archway. Yeah?
I see.
Okay. Now, imagine the center point. Now I have a circle. The window is a circle, and the center point, maybe I can show it in this way. I have here I have a disc with a little opening in it. And if I put my window, if I put my window like this, then the center of the circle is, well, it is where it is. Yes?
Yep.
But from this circle, from this little opening, the lines that go out to the arch. So I have to imagine that lines go from this little opening to the top. And by doing so, you get something like this. There we go. Oh, perfect.
Oh, nice.
Who needs a template?
Who needs a template?
Absolutely. Still having fun?
Oh, dude, it's a blast. Like just getting to sit down and work through this process is amazing. Like I can't think of a better way to spend Sunday than hanging out and crafting, man. So this is
Okay. Oh,
great.
that's nice. Very nice. Good to know.
Yeah, and it's everyone on the stream I think is having a hard time with the lag in the video, but it doesn't matter because I'll sync up the video from the recording later to a Gerard, and
Okay.
it'll
What is
be
a lag? What is a lag? It's like
so it's stop motion video. So like the capturing,
oh,
all
okay.
the beautiful capturing that we were done to see the work right now live during the stream. Hard for everyone to catch up, but they'll be able to see it later when I edit the video together.
Okay. Okay.
Oh,
Good.
I see. I
Okay.
see the lines there look really, really good. Now, do you go on the you're just doing that's the outside layer you're doing right now.
I'm doing the outside, but I'm not finished. So I have the outside layer here,
Yep.
and one of the things is since we are working in layers, if I look from the side, I see also the side of the opening. So
Yep.
every line I have drawn in the archway should go around the corner. Well, if we experience so much difficulty with the live stream, we might have to do it again sometime.
Oh darn. Oh darn. Woe was me. And maybe I'll get some souped up beefier hamsters by that point so we can have all of the video streaming it by that point. I like the way you think, Gerard. Well, this is not the first time for sure, or not the last time for sure. It is the first time, but it won't be our last time.
So I've made the archway, this one, but look, I've also at the inside, you see?
Yep.
The lines, right?
Oh, nice. Yep. Yep.
Okay. There's more to do here, but now if I put the top sheet on the bottom sheet, I could simply trace the lines from the top sheet onto the bottom sheet in the same direction. I will do a few so you can see what I mean.
Yeah. Give us a couple examples right there. I'm trying to play catch up a little bit. I'm back on the step now. I've textured the outside of the door with that stonework that we just worked on. But now I'm going back and I'm cutting the inside. My thing is super the doorway is going to be easier to cut with the prox on. I may just try this. Let's try this wild thing.
Okay.
I am going to attempt this cutting. Let's see how this goes. I'm gonna use just the hot wire knife here. See if I can do. This might be sketch. Well, not sketch. I'm doing okay. Not bad for the first little cut. Boom. Okay. Are you filling in? You're filling in all the different stonework there on the outside, Gerard. Is that what you're working on?
Yes, I'm doing the whole arch of the top and bottom sheet now.
Nice.
I'm just doing it very quickly and dirty, but
quick and dirty is fine. Quick and dirty is fine. I'm gonna try. That's what I'm trying to do to catch up here. I'm trying all the risky things right now. I'm gonna try another attachment on my hot wire knife to see if I can
just know if you don't try and if you don't fail, you will never learn. You have to make mistakes.
I think that's a great motto for this stream today. Like, if you don't try it, how will you know if it works?
Yes.
And that's kind of the whole point of it anyway. Like, how many times, like, it's okay to fail in the craft, right? It's not a big
yes.
deal if something
No.
goes awry, because like you said, just with the massage of the pencil,
Yeah,
your window isn't ruined. Your window is fine.
it is. And actually, I've learned about it by making mistakes.
Yeah, that's the process. That's the learning process. Everyone can embrace. Okay, so here's how I'm going to try to employ that technique. I just used the hot wire
Yeah.
on the inside here for, well, it looks worse on that angle, but I'm going to try to go back with the pencil now and see if I can't try the new technique you just showed me to fix that a little bit. I bet you I write that. Oh man, who is that in the stream? Yeah, Keystone. Keystone is the
yes,
elements that we're thinking. Thank you, everyone. Keystone.
Yes. Thank you very much. Stupid Dutch guy here. I do my best, but I'm learning every day, right?
Please. I didn't know what it was. I'm glad everyone in the chat hooked it up. I was gonna put in there saying, "Hey, help us out, y'all. Help us with
here is my which camera is on, Colin?
Well, they're both on. Whether or not they're broadcasting anything streamed, let's hold it up directly up there. That's a good place to hold it. Oh man.
So here you have. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that looks great. That looks great.
So, but now we go for actually those stones are absolutely flat. There is no texture in the stone. Now, I will do texture in the stone, but I will do it later. Now I have a question, which is, do we do plain brick, which is the most easy thing to do? We could do also could do natural stone. I could do the bottom natural stone and then some brick, more rectangle stones. Anyway,
I like. I'm all for whatever you want. Like, what would be I mean, we could easily if for the simple wall, let's just do the brickwork. The brickwork where we draw the line across. Let's keep it simple.
I'm glad you're saying that, because if you look, we started off with this horizontal line where the top of the arches are touching, right? Yep. Now, once you have applied an imprint like this horizontal line, you will never be able to fully remove it or hide it. So it would be great to actually start with brickwork. Now, for this, simply take your ruler and start making horizontal lines. Now, one thing people ask me, okay, so how many inches or whatever apart? That's up to you. The good thing to know is that the less horizontal lines you draw, the larger the stones, the less work, the faster you're finished. But if it looks okay, so I will simply start off and draw some horizontal lines.
Yeah, that's kind of how I work with it too sometimes, where I'm like, especially for brickwork like that, as long as you keep it, consistent through the line.
Well, if you look at fantasy buildings, like for instance, Minas Tirith like structures, then you also see that stone sizes differ. Like you have higher and less higher stones in rows masoned. So that's the fun thing of fantasy. It doesn't matter. Everything goes.
Oh, I was being kind of gentle earlier with my pressing of the flat of the pencil. And now I'm getting a little bit more
aggressive,
adventurous, and yeah, I'm getting more depressive, right? and it's making a huge difference with that texture starting to pop out there. That's
Well,
really, it's really neat.
well, it's good that you mentioned this, Colin, because depending on the foam you are using,
Right.
if you master uh, the pressing technique, you might be able to actually work in 3 different layers. Now, this is a
Mm.
very sloppy one, I know, but so you have the stones are the deepest,
Hmm.
and the how do you call it? The
The
puts.
keystone.
No, these are stones, and this is applied upon it.
Oh,
Like
the plaster,
the
like the
plaster,
plaster.
yes,
Yes. Ah, I
is a
know that one.
little bit less deep, and then you have the beams, the woodwork that sticks out. So actually, in one sheet, you could work in 3 layers if you master um, your pencil and the pressing technique, right?
Yes.
So I'm busy making all these horizontal lines.
Why you make the horizontal lines, John from Tabletop Witchcraft had he's saying he loves the attention to the detail. The work around the window is a great example. Doing that 45-degree cut on the outer layer adds so much to the look of the frame, and I agree. Like, as soon as
Thanks.
he showed that earlier, I was just like, ah man, that's a it's just, again, the more layers and more depth that you can add to it, it's just
Mhm.
it looks like the actual standing, it's starting to look like actual medieval architecture is what it's starting to
Yeah,
remind me of.
and,
It's
and
great.
and mind you, we are working at a very, very, very slow pace, right?
Right.
I mean,
Right.
and we can do it much quicker. So if you think, man, this we are 1 hour on the way, and know
We're
that
doing.
we talk a lot, and but here is my here we are. I'm just my laptop camera. So we have
Oh
all the
yeah.
horizontal lines. And
Yep.
now, before I start making all these horizontal lines into stones, um, I have the 2 top lines you see will be the space in between the 2 top lines that will be a beam, a wooden element.
A wooden beam, so
So
so I need to leave a little bit of space at the top and the bottom for those
no, no,
wooden
no, no, no.
beams. Oh, just the
So
top.
no, you see the top line and the
Yes.
line underneath.
Yep.
It is a wooden beam,
Oh,
and
copy that.
yeah. So what I will do now is I will apply the same technique as I did with the archways. So
Okay.
first along the top line, and I will try to go a little bit off the line itself, making it a little bit more organic looking. Now, as you see, I only use my pencil, and by pressing, there is one step you can do in between when you uh, do the archways, like pressing in the archways or pressing in uh, the side of this beam. And
Mm-hmm.
before pressing is like using your knife and make a very shallow incision, so your
Okay.
line gets very sharp.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
so that's also a possibility. So now I've done the top line. I'm mostly focusing when I show something up close. I'm focusing on my laptop, Colin. Just
That's
so you know.
perfect. That's
Okay.
perfect, Gerard.
So you see, I've made the top line, and you see,
Yep.
it's
Yep.
okay. And now I will take the other line from underneath and press it as well. So here we go. There we go. So you see, it looks, yeah, now you can see the depth, right?
Oh, I see
So
the
that's the
that
wooden
looks
beam.
great. That looks great.
And now I will
Mm.
simply make bricks. And are a few things that are important. Where do I start? actually, I always start in the above the center of the keystone. So my first vertical lines are the two above each keystone. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And now, and you can measure it out, whatever you like, but I want to eyeball it.
Eyeball it. Eyeball. You do you.
Yep.
You can eyeball. That's my go-to.
Most of my builds are eyeball.
Are they really?
Yes.
Wow. I need a little bit of measurement, and even then, I struggle. I struggle sometimes with that. But I do enjoy like the freehand of just like, oh, I'll go this here. And I've learned to relax a little bit more too. Because again, at the end of the day, the craft is it's your enjoyment, right? It's your process.
Absolutely.
And it's also, again, it's an act of love, man. Making this piece for a table. It is to make
It
a
is.
piece for the tabletop for other people to enjoy. It's great.
Absolutely. Sure, if you want something to be perfect, okay. But I think what you say is right. The most important thing is to enjoy and have fun while crafting. And
Yep.
um, oh, there she is. So,
All right.
okay.
I'll try it. I'm gonna give it a second here. Earthman Brick is suggesting that I turn. I definitely, Sandra. I'm definitely gonna upload this video and make sure that y'all can see all the wonderful work Gerard is walking us through for sure. And then in addition to that, I'm gonna try. Earthman Brick suggested to turn my video off to let it catch up a little bit. So
Sure.
you're not gonna see me. You'll
No,
just
okay.
You'll
I'm
hear
used to
me.
it. I'm used to it.
I'm right here with you.
Sure.
Okay. So show me what you're working. Are you just going through and adding in the lines of brick now?
Yes.
And finishing it off? Cool. Then that's
almost there.
yeah, once the brickwork you can crank out pretty quick.
Yes.
I'm curious, like, what's your guys' preferred method out there in the chat? Like, what is your preferred layering of brick? Do you guys eyeball that as well, or do you measure it out specifically? Do you just freehand it? Do you like using one of the textured rollers that are available out there? What do you guys like to use out there in the chat? That's my question for you. How do you like to do your brick and stone work?
I will definitely, if I have some time left, will show you some other techniques of texturing.
Please.
You see, when we have fun, time flies. So
that's the way it always goes. That's what happens on this stream, man. It goes by too quick.
Okay, well, again, this is a very simple wall, but this is how it looks so far. Now we have all the bricks in place, and it's still quite dull. I mean, there is not really any texturing in the stones, and as you can see, the wooden beam is also very clean and tidy. So let's start with the beam. Let's make some grain into it.
That sounds good. Let's texture that beam.
But the first thing I will do is, this is a very long piece of wood, right? This is very long. This goes all the way from left to right in front of this wall. Now, if you look at, let's say, older structures, medieval structures, you see that if the house is a bit larger, that these beams that go vertically and horizontally are in many cases not from one piece, but there are two or even more pieces joined together. So to
Right.
make this ball a little bit more interesting, I will first add this so-called connection mark.
Okay.
And let's do it right away. I will do it somewhere, not exactly in the middle. That doesn't look cool. And it is, maybe it's very, very tiny, very simple. But there you have your, above the window, there you have your
Oh,
connection between two
nice.
beams. And the fun thing now is, now I
Mm.
want to apply structure. So I take a very, very sharp pencil. And now I will draw the grain. As you see, everything I do with pencils. And sure, you can use little metal brushes to try and scratch grain into your foam. But beware, it can, if you use like these metal brushes, it can tear.
Yeah.
You also have
Yep.
these plastic toothbrush kind of things that might work as well. But I think it would be cool to do it with a very sharp pencil. The grains
That's
are not that.
that's how I like to do it. I like to use the sharp
Okay.
pencil to do it for sure.
Okay.
100%. I like the fine detail that you get with a wire brush, but man, is it like it's hard to that's harder to see, I think, when you put it on the tabletop. The larger pencil marks gives it a little bit better texture,
Uh,
I think.
I think in this scale, it's not so bad to exaggerate a bit. Like um, if the grain isn't that fine, that is fine. I mean, there is grain, you can see it, and if you apply the right the color that goes with it, then everybody sees and recognizes it as wood.
Yep.
Another thing when applying wood structure is, let's imagine you have a wooden floor with all the floorboards and you apply the grain. Remember to, with every part of wood you texture, to change direction of the grain.
Mm,
So uh, do not go with any floorboard from left to right. Then everything looks the same and it doesn't feel right. So every time you go from left to right, the next floorboard, you go from right to left. The next floorboard, you go straight on forward.
mm.
And you can change in between those directions.
Oh, nice. I like that. That's something I definitely haven't employed in my texturing. So what was that little seam? It was just like a little connector point. Let me make that. Shoot.
So I've applied the wooden structure. I will come up close and I hope it's visible.
Oh yeah, that looks good. That looks really good. I like that a lot.
It's done with a very sharp pencil. And as you can see, maybe the grain on this part has another direction than that part. Yes, they're a little bit different in angle.
An angle.
I
Yep.
I, I did it on purpose, right? Okay.
Nice. That looks good.
Now,
Changing the grain.
now I want to texture the stones, and here are a few things. Imagine I want to texture every stone. Now, you
Mm-hmm.
all know, I'm absolutely certain you all know the aluminum foil ball, right? Uh, just throw it on there, roll it, and you have your texture. That is perfectly fine. However, you don't have any control where this foil ball will imprint deeper or less deep. So this
Right.
means that a lot of the uh, lines you put in will be vanished because of the irregularity of this ball. So sometimes stones like to merge or join together. Um, you don't have control over it, right?
Right.
Um,
Right.
to make it quick and dirty, great. To make highways that need structure, great. To make concrete using this ball, great. If you
Mm-hmm.
want to have a very, if you want to have a wall with a lot of character, with a lot of depth, structure every stone. And I will do that now in a second.
I'm excited. I've never structured individual stones like that
Okay.
before. So let's
Now
see how we do that.
okay. There's one other thing. We have the archway of the door and the window. They stick out. Now assume that this is another type of stone. Now assume that this could be a stone of a higher quality, like maybe marble, right?
Right. Right.
So it so if it should be another type of stone, then it might also be another color once you paint it.
Mm.
And by not structuring these archways, you will express even more the difference between the two types of stone. So I will now texture all the bricks except
Okay.
for the archway, right?
All right. Let's texture. Let's texture some bricks.
Yes. For this, I have another pencil. And the difference between this pencil and the previous pencil is, no, they are still short. This
Okay.
is a very blunt pencil. Yes.
Yep.
Um, okay, let's see. It's 2024. I will structure the whole wall. Let's see how long it takes. Okay.
All right. Let's see.
Starting now.
Now you're using a dull one. What are you doing to? You're just.
Actually, what I'm doing is I will structure every stone. First of all, again, my pencil is relatively flat, less than a 45-degree angle.
Okay.
Secondly, I am more or less drawing very, very quickly shapes that somehow look vaguely like if I'm drawing an 8, the number 8 into foam. While I'm applying pressure, while I am applying structure, I will try, although I'm working very quickly now, I try to avoid pressing the lines around every stone. So preferably, I will stay away from these lines. So there is a very, very little bit of space between the outer lines of the stones and the actual structure.
Yep. I see.
Not sure
I see
if
it.
Makes sense.
It does because I'm doing it. It makes perfect sense. It also allows a little bit of depth when you're pressing that down in. It adds a little bit of recess and individuality to the brick, like to the bricks,
Yes.
but also a little bit of uniformity too.
Yeah.
Because they're all individually texturing them the same way.
Yes. Now, texturing is like your autograph. If you start texturing stone and you have never done it, you are looking for a way to texture them. Like you are looking for the movement you are making or you want to make when texturing each stone. Now, if you found your own way of texturing, then it's very hard to do it differently. Or you can do it differently, but so the way I'm structuring now is the way I like it the most. It's the most satisfying, and if you've never done it, you will get cramp in your hand and in your arm.
Loosen the grip. Loosen the grip. Everyone
Yeah.
can loosen your grip on the pencil. You don't have to loosen the grip. Squeeze it. All you have to do is squeeze it with your. I'm holding it with my thumb, my middle, and my index finger, and my left hand because I'm left-handed. And then if you hold it lightly and just squeeze it, it'll, if you it's easy to death grip it because we're like so focused on a tiny little detail. But if you
Yes.
loosen the grip, that's what I did because my hand was starting to cramp, and I was like, oh, just relax the grip, just
Sure, very
like
good.
a
Very
small
good.
sword, just like a small sword. Amy Root, there it is for all my
It
fellow fight directors out there.
it doesn't matter what kind of movement you are making within each stone. I'm done. Less than 4
Well,
minutes.
of course you're done. I'm about
You see
50%
it?
done. Oh, I see it. Oh, it looks great. That looks really, really good. I like the individual texture. Someone was putting in the chat, Gerard. They were
Yeah.
like, they were questioning, oh, cool. So if I turn my video off, that was a great suggestion, Earthman Brick. I got to keep my video off, Gerard. We get the
Sure.
stream back and we have the video. So
Okay, guys. Good.
it's not just my someone suggested my beard was taking up the bandwidth earlier. Perhaps it is taking up the
One beard is
bandwidth.
enough, right?
Maybe one beard is enough. Two beards too much.
Yes.
But I think someone was commenting like individual bricks, for someone who's new to the hobby. Sandra's saying like, I'm new to the hobby, brick by brick, like, oh my goodness, overwhelming. But it makes a difference, those little
Yes.
details, when you take the time. And again, I find myself in that spot too, Gerard, where I'm like, oh, I need to rush, I want to rush. But the more time you take with it, man, the more detail you're able to create. So it just depends. Like sometimes you got to build stuff quickly and you got to bust out the tinfoil ball. Other times, bust out the flat surface and go brick by brick and get zen with it.
Okay, so
Enjoy the process.
just a little sidestep again,
Yep.
because the viewer about brick by brick, maybe that's too much work. So here is another solution.
Oh,
So here is a window, right?
yep.
Now I will cut out the window. I think I will need, maybe with the wall, another 10 or 15 minutes, and maybe we can do some freehand cutting still.
Oh yeah, we
The
can.
bridge, for instance.
I'm all for if we bleed over a little bit today, Gerard. I've got a little bit of bleed over time, so if you've got
Sure.
time,
I've got time. No problem.
Again, thank you everyone for sticking with today. I know this isn't the most ideal setup, but all of your support during the stream as Gerard and I are crafting here and still trying to troubleshoot. Yeah, well, but also we're troubleshooting, and everyone's been troubleshooting along with us to try to make the stream better for everyone. You guys rock. Thank you for hanging out with us today and helping problem solve and figure it out on the fly. That's why this community is awesome.
Just curious, because I don't see anything going on the chat.
Yes.
How many people are viewing?
How many people are here so far? What do I have? I've had what is it? Is it 12 folks right here right now? Is what it looks like. We got 12.
That's a nice group.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. For the one who said texturing the whole wall, that's so much work. So now I have my window. Now this is my window, right?
Yep.
Okay, so this is my window, as you can see.
Okay.
And actually,
here you go, Sander. This is for you, Sander. Check this out.
I cut out the outside and the inside. So this is my window frame, right? I can do a few fun things with it now. So okay. I lay it flat. And I take one of my texture rolls. Yes?
Yep.
Normally I do this with a stick, but I will do it now by hand.
Okay.
Okay, make some, just give me a second, almost there.
No, you're fine. I'm almost done texturing my bricks by hand. They look, I'm really digging how this is turning out in the texture that they're that we're
Very
able
good.
to create with this. Now, did you texture the archway too, or no?
No,
The
no,
stones
I
on the
did
arch.
not.
Okay.
No, because in this example, I want to give the illusion that we're working with two types of stone, meaning that the, the the stone that differs, like the arches, first of all they stick out, and secondly they are not textured; they have another structure. They're smooth, and in the end they will have another color. So here we have a fully structured wall. Yes.
Yep. Yep.
So actually, I used my cylinder.
Oh,
I
nice.
textured the stones, but before I removed the windows or the outer trim of the window, I textured it, and now I can place back this window.
Oh,
To make
that's
it
so
even
cool.
more interesting, I have my proxen here at my side. Not sure if you can. Oh, there you go.
Yep, we can see it.
So now I will cut off. Oh, wait. A little bit more. There we go. So I made the wall a little bit thinner. You see, this goes off. Now I put the window back in, and look, it sticks out. Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Okie dokie. So
Oh, that's so cool.
okay, good. So what can we add to this wall? A lot more, but just a few small things. Now every stone is perfectly aligned. They're all on the same level, you could say.
Yep.
Perfect, well masoned craftsmanship. But let's assume it's a very old wall. So I will cut out. I will cut out two stones. So.
Oh, I see. You're going to cut a couple out. After you cut that out, Sander was asking if you could go back over now that we're getting a little bit of our video feedback, going over the texturing process for the individual bricks.
Yes, I will
and
do
he's
so.
not. It's not a scribble, Sander, that he's doing on it. It's using the flat edge of the pencil, very very flat, with maybe just a little bit of tip, like the of the graphite, and then you can move it around in there, and it gets a really fine detail as you're going around. And Ben, or not Ben, I hear my son in the background, but Gerard was talking about using a figure eight motion. You were almost using, like you were drawing the number 8, you said, Gerard, right?
Yes, I will explain it in a moment.
Cool.
I will finish this little stone.
Perfect.
Okay, so now you see I cut out the stone and I pressed it a little bit backwards, right?
I'm doing that too.
And actually now it sticks out here, which isn't a problem. I simply get it out. I slice off very thin. And now I can glue it back in.
Oh, that's so cool, Gerard. I like that. Cutting out the individual brick.
And the fun thing is, as you can see, we are adding more and more depth, right?
Yeah, yeah.
There are, I want to add a few things extra, but first the question, right? I'm looking for a piece of paper. Let me see if I got some paper over here. This has to do. Now this is very small. Very small. Give me a second. Right back.
Yeah, take your time. I'm just adding in that brick. What else is in here? Use textured wallpaper. What is a textured wallpaper? Catch me up, Earthman Brick. I'm seeing the chat. You're talking about a wallpaper. How are you implementing wallpaper for? Is it for texturing walls? Is what you're doing, or catch me up in the chat here about what you're doing there with the wallpaper. Oh man, this is cool. All this individual brickwork, I really. It is it's definitely tedious, but it makes, I don't know, it's just, I like the small individual detail work that Gerard is describing today. And you can always switch your techniques up like you did earlier, utilizing a textured roller that you've either purchased or you've made yourself. Works really well. These are all great. Let's see what else. Still cutting this out here. Right now, I'm adding in those individual bricks that have been kind of crumbled out, just like Gerard showed as well. Now, he got some really good depressions down in his with his bricks, so I need to go back in with my flat and do that. I'm going through Gerard here, and now I'm going to press in. I've removed my bricks, and now I'm going to flatten it out, like the depression in. So go, take it away. Where the floor is yours, my friend.
Okay, about the, I will exaggerate. So I will draw a few stones. Okay, here we have some stones. And to explain something else, I will add a few more. Okay, so now, okay, so here we have the lines that I imprinted with the pencil earlier on, and now I have a blunt pencil to make the structure. Now imagine my marker is now my blunt pencil, and what I'm trying to do now is make a kind of movement, and this is the way I do it. This is I call it my signature. This is the way how I normally apply structure, but everyone has its own signature, which means you might have a totally different way of moving around your pencil over and over again in this specific sequence. I'm right-handed, maybe you're left-handed, and whatever. I get to that later on. But here's what I do. So when I structure very slowly, I like to explain it like this. I'm drawing an 8.
There we go.
Yeah. And in a normal speed, it's more like something like this, right? Now, I'm exaggerating, but if you look very closely, you will see that my structure, and this is a little bit cuckoo, right? Because I am a little bit cuckoo. But you see that I try not to press the edges. If you apply structure in a stone, and you stay a little bit away from the outer perimeter of each stone, you get a stone where the edges are a bit higher. And right after that, you have the deep lines of the mortar, right?
Yep.
Now think you will, for instance, here. This is a great example, I guess. So let's get my little nice little churchy. Yeah. So
that's amazing.
If you look at every stone, the lines between the stones are dark, and the stones themselves are lighter. But within the stones, you have light and dark.
Right.
So keeping away from the mortar lines. I'm not sure if I'm saying it right. I hope you understand.
No, you're saying it right.
And not imprinting the stone up until the edge keeps the contrast between the stone itself and the mortar.
Yes, it does.
More visible. Yeah. Okay. So now, as I said, this is my signature, right? Like I'm drawing an 8.
Right.
Okay. But, and here's the thing. If, for instance, you should do it like this, that is perfectly fine.
Right.
In the end, if you apply this structure onto every stone in your build, it looks great because all the stones have they have the same structure, the same texture. So if I would do it, for instance, like this, again, perfect.
Perfect.
But apply it on every stone.
Every stone.
That's the idea. So
consistent. Just pick a texture that you like, that is comfortable to repeat a lot, and then replicate it. It's great.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Gerard. I was just
No,
saying, I really am enjoying. I'm excited to. I'll show you here, not now, but after the stream is over. I'm really excited about that texture and texturing the individual bricks instead of just rolling it with the foil. It's just another great method that you can use to create very unique, very again it's clean lines, because when you roll the aluminum foil over it too, you lose those lines on the brick and that definition for sure. Exactly. You had a tower up there to show. You had something to show.
Oh well, actually, just to show you. Actually, these are quite dull buildings if you look at the coloring, of course. But again, you can see very well the texture, and the texture you see in this little thing is the texture I just explained, like drawing these kinds of 8.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yep.
Okay, good. Moving on with my wall. I'm hoping I'm not annoying the viewers too much with it, but since this is a very old wall, there was this earthquake once. You might have heard about it, Colin. This earthquake that once appeared, right?
Yes. Yeah, definitely familiar with earthquakes out here.
Yes. Oh yeah, sure. So this is a medieval Californian.
the default Californian wall. I love it.
Yes. Yep. Okay. So we actually have this huge crack in the stone. So to start off, I will damage the side here of the door. Ooh, nasty. And I just go in very deep. And it is always a lot of fun. I did a workshop once, which was called the Ruined Workshop, and people could choose from different builds, and they could build it. And once they were finished, and the next phase started, we ruined them. Yeah, I've got one of the examples I've got over here.
Oh, nice.
It's like this little thingy, but as you can see, it's ruined, right?
Oh, that's great.
Okay, so imagine you have a group of 15 people, and they all make their own builds. And a lot of them made that build, and they say, okay, let's start ruining them. I believe only 3 or 4 went on to that next level. Most of them said, no, it looks so fine. It would be a waste to ruin it. So,
to ruin it.
No, really. So, but again, I'd like to ruin a little bit.
I like the ruins. The ruins are fun to make, especially for me, because if it's imperfect, you're like, oh, I'll just that'll be a ruined part of the build. I meant to do that, but it adds. I think they're a lot of fun to build. I've always enjoyed that. What'd you do with that crack?
We have a little crack, right?
Oh, that's a good crack. That's a good size crack.
Yes, I like to exaggerate.
Now, did you use a thick, a sharp?
Yes, a sharper pencil. Just hack in there. And I cut away a little piece of here. Very little piece.
Oh, yeah, I see.
You may like it, you may not like it, but it's just to show you. I think we're almost done, although we could add a little bit more. But maybe. I have some of this. Colin, what's the name of this?
Is that the clear packing? Or no, wait, is that no, that's like a drywall mesh that you put down, right?
Absolutely.
It's a drywall mesh. That's right.
Yes. So I can do a few things. So
drywall patch. It's like the screen. What do you do now? How do you use that screen? What do you do with that, Gerard?
Okay. So if I always ask people, I always ask people, does your project has to be playable for, and looking good from the inside, yes or no? If the answer is no, then it's very simple. This mesh, when you paint it black or a little bit metal color, a little bit rusty, you stick it behind the window, and you have something like, have to look for something dark.
Oh, that's great.
Oh yeah, then you have something like this, right? I'm not sure if you can see it.
Yep, we can see it right there.
Okay.
Wow, that's great.
Now, it's a bit dull, so let's do it in a 45-degree angle. Then it looks a bit better. Now, that's not 45 degrees. 45 degree, what is it? Not sure. Okay. That's better. So now it's better, right?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Okay. I have another piece of mesh, and I will put it over the mesh that's already on the wall, but in a stand-up way. So I have one part that goes like this, and the other one goes in 45-degree angle, and now I have something like this. You see what?
I see it. Oh, that looks really cool.
Okay. Another thing. Now this is sticky and it's on the rear, right?
Right.
Now what I could do, and I will do that just so you know, I will destroy this rear wall piece.
Okay.
Well, not really.
Not really destroying it.
More or less. So here we go. Okay. So here I have the wall in two pieces, right?
Mm-hmm.
And actually what I'm doing now is I take the mesh, open up the wall, put the mesh in, close the wall, glue it together, and now the mesh is inside
Sealed.
the wall, right?
Lovely.
So
I was just gonna say, like, what was the solution for that? Do you just paint over it? And that's exactly what you just showed us. And now it's layered. It's layered within there, clean, and it's so if you wanted to use the interior as well and do up the interior, you could. I love it.
So now I have here a little piece of glass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So I can open it up. I can put it in. I can close it. And I'm not sure if it's visible or not, but now I have actually glass.
That's 100% visible. That's so cool.
But now it's a combination with glass and mesh. I can also remove the mesh, only leave the glass in.
They have very thin, clear cellophane rolls at your craft stores, or at least they do here in the US. But
Mhm.
like a clear cellophane, Gerard. And
Yeah,
even if you didn't have like the stained glass cutout, you could just cut out a sheet and layer in like whatever color you wanted. Like if
sure,
you wanted an ember color,
sure.
like a blue color, you could easily do that as well. Those are great. Those windows are fantastic. Oh, those are
Yes,
cool.
and along with the little MDF windows, I have. They look really cool. But again, this is not a commercial show. This is a crafting show. So
Right, right,
I
right.
don't want to put too much attention on all that stuff. If people want
Well,
to,
we
they know where to
haven't.
find me.
That's just it. Like if you haven't, if you, this is a good time to just. Uh, I get you got to give me one plug for your amazing website. And I put it here, guys. Like I put it in the description below. If you're not familiar with shiftinglands.com, definitely head over and check out the products that Gerard has. There's some really great tools that I've found extremely useful since they've been in my possession. So go check it out if you haven't seen it. But it's again, like you said, you can use whatever you have around you. There's so many things that are available to help you do any task, any tool. And truthfully, it's whatever works. True, like whatever you have available. That's part of the fun of the process as well.
Yes.
Mm,
Now, um, I want to show you one more trick when applying stones in a wall or
okay.
a pavement. Yes.
Yep.
And then maybe some examples of other walls I've done
Okay.
during workshops to give you an idea how different. The fun thing is, I always start off with teaching this because this is very basic. You learn working in layers, you learn about cutting, you learn about structuring, about the pressing techniques, a little bit of composition. You actually do learn a lot by simply building a small wall like this.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
Before I go to some other wall examples I've done in the last year or so, I would like to show you. I have here another sheet. I will lay it on the table.
Okay.
Maybe you can see it through my phone.
Yep.
And every person within our wonderful hobby, they use brushes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And at some point, they are gone, they are broke, and you throw them away. This is perfectly okay. So uh, here we have a brush, and but actually, I'm interested in the metal part of the brush. Now we have
Ah.
large brushes and small brushes. Now with a small plier, I can normally the brush itself, the metal part is round, but with a little plier, you can squeeze it um, and make a certain shape with it. And
Okay.
here starts the fun because now I can make, I can imprint actually that shape in my phone, making a wall or a pavement at lightning speed. So this is what I've done in a few seconds. Yes.
Oh, that's so cool.
And sure, what you can do also is first you take your aluminum foil ball. So now we have now we have some texture on it. And let me see, what do we, oh, this is a nice one. Now some very odd stones, but okay. Again, so the metal part of your brush uh, could be used as a, how do you call it? Call it a stamp? Stamp?
Yeah, the stamp. I think that's great. Oh, that's you creating your own texture tool with just the end
Yes.
of. Oh, That's what I'm using my old brushes. I'm not throwing them away. I'm gonna rip them apart and cannibalize the metal parts. That's
Yep.
great.
So there are a lot of ways to apply texture. Now for some inspiration. This is the wall I've made today.
Yep.
It's okay. But
It's
here are
good. I think it's great.
some
Now, do you do
examples.
anything with the top, Gerard? Do you do anything with the top band of stone above the wood? Or do you just leave that blank usually?
Actually, if you would put a 28 millimeter or I'm not sure how you call it, a mini for a tabletop, regular size, then this wall is a bit too high. So I could imagine cutting this off, and here is the next level.
I see.
Or maybe you start going for the roof. So it's a little bit too high. That's why I decided to not go all the way up. But there are some ideas about that. So here's actually the same. But this is one sheet. This is only one sheet, right? With a lot of texturing. Here we have a two-part sheet. And again, we've done all the techniques. So it's exactly the same. But you see, I've combined 3 archways. Mm-hmm. And I've made a very large keystone. I did by hand, another kind of stone texture. But in the end, it is the same. Here we have a 3-layer wall where we actually applied a very thin layer of wood.
Oh, I love that wood. That looks great. I love anything where we can layer the textures like that, Gerard, and that's something that you do so well within your work, is layering those different textures. It looks great.
So here we have stone and plaster, for instance. Again, I'm combining here 4 archways. Mm-hmm. And here I've worked with 2 layers. And this is an interesting one, besides the sides. But the interesting thing is that if you look at this double archway, this sticks out massively, right? You can see it, right?
Yep.
Now, so actually this archway was part of this sheet. So I cut the archway out with my X-Acto knife or scalpel knife. And then I removed a thin sheet of this layer. And then I put those together again.
Oh, nice. That's so cool.
And so on. And here we have some. Here we have one, and then there are lots more. But the final 2. So here we have one. I actually removed under the bottom part of the wall and replaced them with this buttress-like stonework. So now the wall looks much heavier or stronger, you could say. Yeah. And here's also a very cute. So your imagination is your limitation, right?
It definitely is. And I think like that's what's so cool about being able to take the different shapes and structures. And if you take the different measurements, like you were talking about, just using a couple of the different diameters, like cutting out the different diameters of the circle, you can create the different sizes that you're going for to layer those techniques in without any template to use. But that's I love all the variation and being able to layer. I think that's one of the things that I've taken away from this last week, really going down the rabbit hole and watching all the content that you've been a part of, is this idea of the layers and the individual texture that you're capable of doing if you take the time and go through it. It's amazing what you can create.
Absolutely.
Well, it's your call, my friend. I have time. If everyone else is down to hang out, we have more people watching now than we did earlier. Sure. Do you want to rip that bridge? You want to show us how to build a bridge in 5 minutes?
If the I want to show you freehand cutting.
Great. Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah. Let's please.
and actually, I want to show you how I make a bridge. And hey, I didn't plan on doing on working this evening, so I can go on as long as you like. No, not as long as you like, but I can easily. I want to I want to show you the bridge, the quick one, maybe even the variation of the ruin bridge, and
Ooh.
and maybe I'm thinking about. I showed this one. I'm not sure if you've seen it. This door. Have you seen the door?
Oh yes, I have seen the door. Now this is one that
Okay.
you make and layer.
Yeah,
That's
actually, making that door is relatively simple,
okay.
and I'm not making. If I make one, I'm not making one. I can make 10 at a time.
Right. I watched that
Maybe.
video. I watched one of the
Oh, you've
earlier
seen it.
ones where
Okay.
where
Then I
you
don't have to show it.
you, you well other people might want to see it too. I just went down the Gerard Boom rabbit hole this week and found all the things that you'd done, and when you did that I was like, what is he doing? And then when you finished it I was like, oh, he's gonna rip the doors. It was great. Such a good technique.
Now, okay, I will make a Gothic door, and uh, yeah, I know that a lot of my videos are in German, and this is a mistake sometimes being made. I am from the Netherlands, so I speak Dutch, which is quite a bit different than German, but there are only 17 million people in the world that more or less speak Dutch, I believe. So we have to learn other languages, right? So that's why I can more or less speak a little bit of English and Dutch and German. I mean, so and every time I visit German, they always want to do a video with me. So and maybe this is a good point now during our live stream that I have all the equipment here. And as for 2021, I will really start seriously doing videos, not every week, maybe one or two a month, but no epic builds. We have no, um, we have some great guys already out there who do epic builds, huh? Like
Yep.
um, uh, I forgot them.
John from Tabletop Witchcraft, who was on earlier here. Yeah, John's
Yes,
got
and don't forget Jeremy, right,
oh
from Black Magic Craft,
yeah.
and they do epic stuff. But I like to more go into the techniques, all kinds of. I mean, how do you make this, right? How do you
Yeah.
cut this? If you
Right.
know that this is cut out of one piece, so how do you do that as an instrument? Or maybe how would you like to cut something like this, right?
I
And
think
so it's
that's
not like making a complete video of some epic build. No, it's okay. I need a shape like this. So where do I start? How do I do it?
right. And I think
Or
that's
how
gonna
to
be
make
that
or how
that's
to
gonna
make
be
a 40K gun. Sorry, what do you
what
say?
no, I was just gonna say it's a good setup, Gerard, to have. And I think those there's going to be a lot of traction. I know you'll be getting me on that all over those videos, because little brief tutorials on where to start is a great foundation for any crafter to just leap right into the process once you have that beginning on how to make those cuts with those great pointers, which is one of the things you're so great at. Great teacher.
Thank you, thank you. I do my best. But I'm
All
always
right.
open for feedback. So, okay, I'm going to do. Oh wow, it's starting to smoke here. I'm going to do some freehand cutting, and
Okay.
I have a foot pedal. It's very convenient when you do freehand cutting. You most of the time you want both hands on your project, and if during the cutting one of your hands must leave your project because you have to switch off the machine, you most likely will make some kind of movement you don't want. So If you cut freehand, I think it would be recommended to use a foot pedal.
Mm.
If you don't have one, it's not the end of the world, but if you have one, that's okay. That's good. Another thing is, if you cut freehand, you must be certain that nothing around you can in some way disturb your cutting.
Yeah.
And as you've seen, I have rolled up my sleeves because one of the biggest frustrations when you cut freehand is that when you have your long arms, like my shirt, long arms,
Mm-hmm.
and you cut and you get with your sleeve on the corner of the machine and you move forward, and then you cannot move anymore because your sleeve sticks behind the corner of your machine. So no long sleeves. Okay.
Sleeves up. Sleeves up.
Okay. This is my door. Looks awful, right?
It looks great.
Good. So I'm starting off with not too much temperature, and I will do some. Okay, that's nice. I'm moving at randomly,
Mm-hmm.
and if I stop, you see the foam melting away very quickly. Sometimes I want that, so I need a larger opening. And the wire gets very hot. So if you are done and you switch off the power, don't immediately move the block. Just wait 1 full second. So the heat is really away from the wire. Otherwise, the wire will stick to your foam.
Mm. Okay.
Okay. Oh, there you go. You see? Oh. No. Okay. Work with me.
I'm trying to catch up. I'm gonna try to join you in this freehand technique here
Sure.
as well. But I'm all ears for you here. Now, what setting do you put it on for the? Do you put it on the lowest setting, Gerard?
Sorry?
Do you put it on the lowest setting when you're doing the?
No. It's somewhere in the middle. Thing is, if you I will get to that when I start making the bridge. I'm almost done with the door. So this is the strange little shape I've made. Yes? You see it's a thick block, and this is what I made. So now so here we go.
Ripping it up. I love it.
So here I have. So here you already have a double door or a two sides of a door, right?
Oh, I love it. Look at that. Look at that.
And since you have a whole block, you can cut and cut, and then you have all these ornament doors. And if you glue them on a thin sheet, thus forming a door, and it's dry, then you, for instance, apply uh, wood structure, so it would look a bit like this.
It looks
Right?
so cool. What was that pattern? Like, how was that pattern you just drew quickly? Was it just a couple spirals that you drew off the main line? That's
I just did it. I didn't make a drawing, right? It's just like, as you see, at randomly, I am moving a bit to and fro.
I see.
But um, if but surely you can make some kind of design which you like, apply it with a pencil and trace it. And since the block is very thick, the top layer only a very thin slice you can slice off, and then you can start cutting these doors, right?
Yep.
Okay. Now let's go to the bridge, right?
All right, let's go to the bridge.
So I have a block, a thick block.
Yep, I've got mine in front of me here.
Okay, and now come to think of it, the other guys that bailed out, they prepared and they glued their blocks, and oh well.
They have them still. They're still they've been chatting and along the side here with me. They're Danny was saying he didn't think his wall came out as good. But before we may not have them pop back on the stream, but before the end of the day, we'll have them pop on and we'll see where they got to with their stuff too.
Okay, cool. So now this is a block of foam, and just to give you an idea, where's my imperial measure? So this is a bridge that will be 11 inches long and only 2 and a little bit high, 2 inch high, and it's 3.5 inch wide, but okay. So here we have it, right? This is the outline of my bridge.
Yep.
So now I'm going to cut freehand. Okay, and okay, about the heat, right? So
yes.
Now I have a thick block of foam. I will put the machine on. Oops. And now I will go with the block into the foam. Okay. And what I'm doing now, I'm just looking how fast do I have to move? Yeah. To not burn too much of the foam away, and while doing so, at what how much does the wire is pressed out of its normal position? Because I want to have the wire as straight as possible. So if the wire is too cold, I have to press harder.
Right.
And I more likely will push the wire out of its upright position. Mm-hmm. So I'm looking for a combination of heat, speed, where I have the feeling that I'm still in control while doing freehand cutting, and not pushing the wire out of its, as least as possible, out of its normal position. Okay.
Okay. Now, so real quick, before you rip that, how did you mark that? Show me the marking on the bridge. You cut it out. Oh, I see.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Just eyeballed it. Yeah, it's a bridge. Okay, there we go. One very important thing while you are cutting, now this is a long cut, is to keep breathing.
Okay, that's a good note. One of our viewers in here, it's my nephew actually, was talking about making sure that breathing while cutting. He mentioned that earlier too. Great minds.
Another thing is while I am moving, while I am moving, and if the wire is, let me say the wire is, and if you look from the top, let's say the wire is at the beginning. My eye is an inch before, in front of the wire.
Oh, I
So-
remember you talking to me about that.
So actually, when you cut, sure, you follow the line, but you are not looking at the wire. I'm looking a little bit in front of the wire. Where does the wire have to go? For some reason, that makes it more easy to make the cut. And if you should leave the line, which you probably will do, if you look very closely, I've done it more or less myself as well. But if you focus on the wire itself, you have the urge to correct right away, which means you will not go in a fluent line onwards. No, you cut corners, and then you mess the whole thing up. So if you see, oh yeah, I'm leaving, oh my gosh, I'm leaving the line, then just keep on cutting and try in a very relaxed way to get back to that line.
Yeah,
it sounds easy, but it's not.
I tried to correct hard in the beginning here, and you'll see later. It created like that little divot. Yeah, right when I first started cutting, I did exactly what I wasn't supposed to do. But after that, I was like, I just brought it back to normal and was able to finish it off the rest of it just fine. Still in good shape here. What's the next line?
So I measured out the middle of the bridge.
Oh, okay, that's a good idea.
And now I need a circle, and in this case, I take my template set and draw the half circle. So this would be the right.
So you draw a circle. You draw a circle there. You say?
Yes. However, I am not pleased with it. It's too high. I will show you in a moment. And let's make it more interesting, if you don't mind.
Oh, I like interesting.
Okay.
I like interesting.
Now this is not fair. I'm using my template, but
I'm using your template too. So
okay.
It's totally.
Oh, I made it. Forget the large circle in the middle. It's a smaller circle, but as you can see, I've made three half circles, right?
Oh yeah. Which one did you use for the one in the middle?
Oh,
what side is on the template?
Actually, I used the second large.
Yep.
And then this one, these two. This in the middle, on the left and on the right. Copy
that. And how far up did you go, Gerard?
Okay, let's put it. Wait, this is the best way to see it, I guess. And you see that actually this one and this one, you see, they are.
Oh, I see.
And then flip it over and do this one and that one, right?
Oh, brilliant. I comprendo. I love it.
So now I'm going, and I will trace them again with my marker so you can see it from above. You can see it better.
Okay.
So this is visible, right?
Yes.
Okay, good.
That looks great.
Where's my? Okay, so the good thing. Let me see. Let me explain. When I cut, I do a. You want to? I forgot it. Colin, actually, if this first line you've never cut before, right?
Yep.
And this is the first time you're doing it. Now imagine this is the line you actually want to cut, the line we just cut. But before I make that cut, let's assume, just assume, I've made 2 more lines. Yes. These are lines that are not related to the bridge. They have the same curve. Yes.
Yes.
But you could actually try it out to see how it goes. And so you have your first line, don't go well, but then you have another line. Oh, it goes better. And then you get the feel of the speed, etc. And then you can make the actual cut. So in this case, you actually have room to first try and make a cut before you make the actual cut, right?
Yep.
The same goes for these archways, right? So if I draw a smaller archway in the largest and try to cut it out first, and if it feels right, then I go. And if you feel like it's not going well, you can always park your wire.
What a great idea. Show. Give us an example there.
I will cut in the middle of the smaller circle. This is not the circle I want, but as an example. So I'm cutting away and I'm feeling this is not going well. Okay, I park it. Yes, you've seen it. I took a turn. I left my line and went to the area that I throw away anyway, because it doesn't belong in the bridge.
Right.
And if I feel confident, I make a detour, get back on the line. And there you have it, right?
Yep.
Okay. But now for the real thing, now I'm going to, hopefully, not sure. Now I'm going to cut out the 3 arches. Okay, that's arch number 1. Arch number 2. And arch number 3. There you are. Okay. Are you still there, Colin?
I am. Can you hear me?
Oh. Yes.
I am cutting my arches right now.
Very good. Ooh, you talk like you cut. Ooh.
Yeah. I can do it. I believe in me. I believe in me. I'm just moving forward, Colin, if that's okay. Yeah, move forward. I've got my first arch done. Keep talking to me, Gerard. My microphone is like behind me here, but I can still hear it.
So now I'm looking. Now I have my bridge. This is the side, and this is the top. And this is a very dull bridge because it's a rectangle. So let's make the bridge look a little bit more interesting.
I like interesting. Interesting is good.
I know. So I will, again, I eyeball it. I will make this bridge a little bit curved inwards. So now here's another thing. We cut out the 3 archways. And if I would, and on top we have this line that we want to cut out. So if I put this on the machine and I move towards the wire, theoretically, and probably it will, these openings might keep on hanging on the edge of the machine. So to avoid that problem, you could either put a sheet of foam underneath, but in this case, which is way more simple, turn your machine a bit, make sure that the whole bridge is on the surface, on your work surface, that it doesn't stick out.
Nice.
Now you can make your cut. Now, as you see, I've made this curved line. I draw this curved line only on one side of the bridge.
Right. I've noticed that.
And it needs to be on both sides. Now, I would like to have it symmetrical, right?
Yep.
So first I have this one. So now it's, as you can see, and this is my template. So I take this one, I get it off, I flip it over, I put it on the other side, take a pencil and draw. And there I have my other line, and I will repeat the cut.
I hear you, honey. Almost done. We will decorate soon. My son is excited to decorate for Christmas.
Oh, absolutely. I can imagine. Now, this was a 5-minute build. And if I would cut it without explanation, I think I will pull it off.
Yeah, I think you would too.
There's a lot of explanation to do.
The first cut. So, oh, look at that. Look at that. You've got the two little, oh man.
But let's go on, if I may. I will speed it up because after the bridge, we call it a day. Is that okay?
Oh, yes. That's great, Gerard. This has been amazing.
Now, the next thing I want to do is, yes. Now, this is a bridge that, let me see. This is not a bridge. I mean, yeah, it looks like a bridge, but it's too thick. Where's the walkway? Where's the railing? So we will add the railing and the walkway.
Okay.
So actually, I can do this without the top, but I will do it on this top. And because, so I have my pinky is on the side of the foam. I position the marker, and there you have it, right? So, and actually, this is something I can do quite easily. So here it's a very slim bridge, I have to say. But these little things, these lines, I'm going to cut out next. And you will see in a moment why I keep this block on top.
Okay.
I'm thinking if it, okay, well, forget it. I've stopped thinking. I'm just acting now. Colin, we do the ruined bridge another time.
Okay? The ruined bridge, that'll be a great one to come back to at another date, Gerard. We could do that would be a fun session where we just focus on creating some ruined stuff.
Yeah, why not? Why not? Sure. Okay, this is number one. Perfect.
Nice.
So we get that away. Put this. I put the parts that come off. I put them together. So you don't get how do you call it? Switched or.
Can utilize them for other stuff too.
Sorry?
Are those getting used for the bridge that you're cutting right now, Gerard, or are you going to use them?
Yes.
Yeah, perfect.
Yep. We have to do a final step. Again, we can do a lot of variations. We can make it a lot more difficult, but this is it. So I cut it. Now I put, okay, so let me see. Let's assemble it all. Now this is, again, this is the whole block, right? Wait a minute.
Yep.
So here we have the whole block. And so here we have the bridge. And Now you see I have one side. This is leftover. This is my railing. This is the walkway. This is another railing, and this is leftover.
Oh,
Now,
wow.
this is a bit strange, but now I'm going to do the following. I'm going to remove the railing. So this is the bridge, this is the railing, and this is the leftover piece. I'm removing the railing. Yes?
Yep.
And I put these two together, and they should more or less fit.
Mm-hmm.
Now I take my marker again, and from this side, so this is the walkway. Could be a little bit deeper, maybe. Start again. A little bit lower, I mean. Okay, that's it. And there we go again. Okay, let's do it. Now again, making these sides of the bridge curved inwards makes this bridge very narrow at the top.
Right.
Which for game purposes could not be such a good idea. So you might keep it straight, or you should be using a wider foam, wider block of foam. Now here's the bridge. Actually, this is a bridge. I mean, it is. That
looks great by its. You could texture that and throw it on the tabletop by itself.
Sure, but here we have the bridge. This one goes here.
Yes.
And where's the other one? This one goes here. Okay.
Oh, look at that railing.
There you have your bridge, right?
That looks so cool.
So, sorry, not a 5-minute project. I mean, I had to explain a lot, but
the process in which to cut it and build it quickly is there, Gerard. Yep. Like that is when you all in said and done, like the rough shape and creating just the initial cuts for the archways and the outline of it is there. And even in that, like I said before, you could leave it by itself and just texture it and throw it on there. But I really, it's a quick build, Gerard. That's the quickest, one of the quickest ways to create a bridge I've ever seen. So I like that setup.
Yeah.
What would your next step on it be? Like, how would you texture it?
No, well, the fun thing is that I cut out these archways at an earlier stage. I could also done it later on in the project. The reason why I'm telling is while I put this aside for a moment, because now I'm not that confident, but maybe, give me a second. So that's one. That's two. That's three. And then I missed this centerpiece, which I cannot find anymore. Okay, so I take, for instance, a cylinder.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Yep. Boom. Textured.
Right?
Love it.
And actually, if I want, for instance, this structure, not sure, let me check. Yep, that's the side. So I can now. Not sure. Okay, there it is.
And there it would be. It would be. You could glue that on there, and it's ready. It's literally ready
Yes.
for painting, for
Yep.
primer. Ah.
So and if I would really want to build a bridge, I would do it all by hand because I like to. Yeah, it's. But that's me being cuckoo, right? So.
That is you being cuckoo, but that's great, Gerard. Like what a fun quick build. And I again all of this stuff that you've shown us today is just it's truly a joy to have you on the stream, Gerard, and just get to hear some of the techniques that you've employed that you found that have worked. And you know, I it's truly a masterclass for all of us crafters today. So this is lovely. And thank you so much. Like I am definitely looking forward to having you back on soon again, hopefully. And one day, everyone was talking about several folks that joined us today have taken your workshops and have been in person. And
yes,
yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to making that happen one day in the future too. We'll definitely have.
As I said, when this pandemic is over and there is a possibility since there is since last week there is Shifting Lands USA.
Yes,
I have a shop now in Maine in the USA,
which is phenomenal.
Which is great. We're at the starting phase, so more products are coming in. But that's already for me very important to go out and visit the United States. And actually this year I was invited to go on one of the cons, but alas, due to the pandemic, that's being postponed. But yeah, sure, why not? I mean, if there is a chance, I would be more than happy to appear live in wherever you are.
Well, that's phenomenal. We'll definitely figure out a way to get you out here, Gerard. If you guys haven't done so, be sure to head over to Shifting Lands YouTube channel, subscribe to that. Stay tuned for new content that Gerard's going to be staying tuned. If you want more content, just like today and what Gerard provided, it's coming soon. If you want to check out Shifting Lands products, check out shiftinglands.com. There's more exciting details of stuff that's on the horizon, both for the folks in Europe, as well as here in the United States as well. So Gerard, thank you so much for coming on the show today, and we will look forward to the day when we can see you in person. And again, next time, I promise we'll figure out the hamsters won't fall off the wheels so bad. We'll be able to make sure it stays.
I hope. I mean, thank you for having me, Colin. It was a joy from the beginning, like the first contact we've made and the things we discussed. So that's all great. Would be even nicer to have the other guys on board as well. But the more reason to do it again. Okay.
Amen to that. If you're new to the Crazy Crafter live stream, be sure to give us a like if you enjoyed it, and turn on the subscribe and bell notification so in the future streams you can be notified when we're going to go live. Until then, be sure to craft your passion daily, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.